Hey folks, this goes out to you entrepreneurs out there carving a better way for yourselves and your families and your future. And just reaching out to you all out there to keep you encouraged, inspired, and motivated to keep going in entrepreneurship and taking care of your family and enjoying life overall. Today we're just going to go over a quick thought, something that I've been pondering on myself and something that I've had to challenge myself on for numerous of times, just throughout the years and over life and things of that nature. And that is the question of what are you spending your money on? And the reason I ask that question to myself and others is because a lot of the financial problems that we are currently in, well, a lot of it has to do with our financial decisions that we make ourselves and what we are spending, the income that we have coming in, basically what we are spending it on. I guess, for example, let's just say you are bringing in $2,000 a month, and your rent, I'm just going to use these numbers just for the sake of making a point. So let's just say your rent is $500 a month, that leaves you $1,500. And of course your bills and food and things of that nature. So let's just say that might take another $300 to $400. Let's just go ahead and just round it off to another $500. So let's just say your overhead to make it to just pay your bills, pay your rent, and to just live okay would be $1,000 a month. Now that is pretty cheap, yes, but I'm just making the point of seeing how some of our decisions that we are making with our money is the very thing that sometimes hinders us from positioning ourselves for some type of wealth or financial freedom and freedom in general later on. So let's just say out of the $2,000 you're bringing in a month, you're only spending $1,000 a month in overhead. But the problem is coming in of what are you spending that other $1,000 on each month. So now you get into financial discipline, you get into impulse buying, you get into a lot of different areas that involve your basic decision making that involves what you're spending your money on, what you're doing with the extra $1,000 a month, which could be saved or put away and accumulate $12,000 that year. Then you could kind of live a little bit more comfortably. You have a nice little nest egg, nice little stash that you can actually just kind of relax about it and not have to really even concentrate on thinking about living check to check and what you're going to eat and things of that nature. But that extra $1,000 seems to just be going, you just don't know where it goes actually. You don't know what's happening to it. It just seems like it's just vanishing in thin air. You know how we do. We think that somebody's just taking it from us and we're just barely making it. But in actuality, you have an extra $1,000 after your bills are paid that you could be putting away, that you could be just making better decisions with and living a more financially stress-free life. But due to impulse buying, due to bills that you start creating, it could be going to buy a brand new car instead of just either saving up to buy a used car, or dealing with the car you may currently have. But you just feel this impulse and this sense of reward. Yeah, and that makes sense. You want to reward yourself and things of that nature. Yes, because you work so hard, you work every day, you do business every day, so you figure, hey, why not enjoy some of this? I can spend on myself, reward myself. Yes, all those feelings are true. I get it. But imagine if you just delayed that for a moment and implement delayed gratification. And instead of getting that car this year, you waited till next year or 2 years. And you put away that extra $1,000 a month, or let's just say cut back and put away $800. So you have you have at least $200 to kind of just play with, have fun with, and enjoy yourself too along the way. Make some little odd purchases and things of that nature. And that's understandable because you don't want to just feel like you're just living day to day, check to check, and you're having, and it's like you're depriving yourself and all of that. I get those feelings too. I understand that. I'm saying this more in the context of delaying gratification for a moment, delaying gratification for a year or two, and then seeing how that positions you for a better financial freedom later, for a better financial position later, and less stress later too as well. Even if your job is strenuous and you're working 8, 10, 12 hours a day sometimes, you'd be amazed at how saving some money, putting away your income for a while, for about a year or two, positioning yourself, you'd be amazed at how you would start feeling after that year or two. Because what happens is you get into a job, working long hours and things of that nature. You want to reward yourself, or you start finding yourself trying to spin your way out of feeling bad about working every day. You find yourself spending money on things you do not need because you want to create this feeling of rewarding yourself, this feeling of gratification that distracts you from the feeling of frustration that you're dealing with from going to work. Totally understandable. I get it. I've done it. I'm not saying I won't do it in the future, but I'm saying these are the very things that you can tweak in your life, and these are the very things that you can change that actually propels you to a better financial position in life. And it puts you in a place where you start actually seeing some of your money instead of just it going in one pocket and going out of the other. Because what happens is you start creating these extra bills. For example, the car is going to be another car note. So if you get the new car, you're talking about $450, $550, $600 a month or whatever. Even at $400 or $500 a month, that still now has cut your extra money in half. So now that extra $1,000 you had a month to play with or save or whatever has now been literally cut in half from one item, one product, one car. And that's not even including insurance and gas and things of that nature, whatever. And so these are the type of bills that you start creating. Then you have to get the new furniture. You have to get all of just whatever it is that you see at that moment sometimes, and it makes you feel a certain type of way when you see it, and you feel you have to have it. Or sometimes you may be keeping up with your friends, maybe you're keeping up with something you see on TV, and you're just feeling like you want to live that specific life, that particular life that you see your friends have, that you see your people on TV have, and it's actually attainable, but you have to do these things in a season, in a certain way, in a way that does not hinder your progress, and you're continually financially progressing and growing. Because these are the things that creates new bills. These are the things that create notes and monthly payments that continuously eat into your monthly income. These things that you get, they still have to be paid for. Just because you finance them does not mean it's actually yours yet. Remember that. A lot of things that you buy, you technically have not bought it yet. That's the whole entire setup of how you finance and credit and things of that nature. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I'm just saying using it in a wiser way, and not overextending yourself, and you find yourself bringing in $10, $20, $30,000 a month, but still having so many bills that you've created that you end up still living check to check, and you're still having to borrow money or refinance this or move money over here to pay for this, and hopefully this doesn't come in before this comes in. You know how it goes. You start moving money around and playing around and really trying to cover bills that could have, first of all, didn't have to be created, and also could actually be paid off if you just delay some of the gratification of creating new bills that keeps you from paying off old bills. And like I said, a lot of these things are the very things that are attainable to fix, that are very fixable, and actually are able to change your whole entire financial makeup. You would be truly amazed at what will come out of your life and just family and enjoying life and being able to not always think about how something else is going to get paid. Because after you get the item, after you finance the item and the bills start rolling in, then the pressure starts rolling in too as well. And that pressure, even though you might have done it for 10, 20, 30 years, you might not realize how much of a mental, psychological toll that is taking on you. And then at the job that you're at, you don't even realize a lot of the frustration is not necessarily the actual job. A lot of it is just the feeling of not feeling like you're getting rewarded for the job that you're doing, because you're not seeing the actual funds that you're making and bringing in, because as soon as you bring it in, you're spending it. It's already spent. And a lot of that psychological toll actually contributes to the frustration in life overall. So something to think about. What are you spending your money on? I'm going to do a more detailed teaching on this. This is something that I really have been thinking about lately. And as I talk to a lot of clients and people, and just casual conversation with friends or whatever, I'm starting to see in the current economic climate of the country and the world and all of us in our lives, a lot of times, a lot of it is coming from just our basic decision making when it comes to the income that we currently have coming in. And this includes me too as well. I'm challenging myself more on it too, and getting better at it along the way too as well, and challenging myself to delay some of the gratification and use some of that money to actually get into a business, start a business, and put it into something that will pay for the thing you want. It's not saying deprive yourself of everything. It's not about that. It's more about making more wise decisions where if you see, let's just say for example, you see that car you want, $500 a month, whatever. Well then, put a few thousand into a business, or a few hundred, or whatever, thousands, whatever the case may be, whatever the startup is. Start the business, get the business off the ground, let it start bringing in 500, it start bringing in 1,000, and then let the business be the income needed to pay for the thing you want. Now you're living in a totally different mindset, a totally different setup, totally different financial economic setup. You have your own little personal economy, your personal economic infrastructure to take care of yourself and provide for yourself and your family and enjoy yourself too as well. Then you're not feeling the psychological toll and taxing of having to come up with the note, having to come up with paying the bills, things of that nature. These other entities and vehicles, financial vehicles and businesses that you put the money in, well, that in itself is starting to pay for the lifestyle that you desire, but at a more stress-free level, and you're actually not even having to even think about the bills. And you do have to think about maintaining the business, of course, to pay for the bills, yes, but it's not that psychological taxing of having to go to work and making sure you get enough hours or whatever, and living check to check, and then frustrated at work, which ends up frustrating for the rest of the day, which ends up frustrating for the rest of the week, and then frustrated for the rest of the month. And you just have a whole year and then years on top of years of just frustration. And all of that could actually be solved by just really implementing some different financial tactics and decisions that are under your complete control. So something to think about. Take care. God bless. Look forward for the other video that will be going a little bit more detailed, teaching too as well, giving you some ideas of where to place your money, how to grow it. We do coaching sessions, personalized coaching sessions as well. You can contact me, Personalized Entrepreneur Coaching, at the number below, and can help you with some one-on-one steps of implementing some of these strategies and techniques and things of that nature. Or just share some information with you to be able to grow your money and or start a business or whatever. Also, get a copy of our Entrepreneur Training Course at entrepreneurtrainingcourse.com, and that gives you a lot of detailed insight on entrepreneurship and business. Getting started, you can actually view that on your own time, so get your copy of that as well. And make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this particular video, maybe you ran across it or whatever, and it kind of gave you some insight on some stuff and you enjoyed it, well, subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it with someone else too as well. And be on the lookout for the upcoming videos, and constantly sharing new videos all the time, so be on the lookout for those as well. Take care. God bless. We look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you contact me about Personalized Entrepreneur Coaching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit me up on the number below. Leave me a message or text me or whatever. Think of 3 questions you may want to address, things you want to talk about. We can have a starting point in our discussion and know where to begin and get things started. Take care. God bless. We look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you go out there, take some action today, and pursue the dreams that you want. Because once again, like I always say, if you don't go for the dreams and build your dreams, well, actually someone else will hire you to build their dreams. So think about that as you go out there, go to work, start your business, enjoy your day. Build your own dreams, because if you don't, someone else will hire you to build theirs. Take care and God bless. We look forward to hearing from you.